A Price for Progress. In Akankan Ede Osun State, Daarul Hikimoh Group of School was a cornerstone of the community. The school had educated generations of children, shaping their minds and preparing them for the world beyond. The teachers were dedicated, the students were eager, and the campus buzzed with the promise of a bright future. But one day, a letter sent to parents stirred up a wave of mixed emotions. The letter from the school's principal, Mr. Ayayemi Alade, announced a tuition fee increase for the upcoming academic year. The reason, he explained, was to fund improvements in the school's infrastructure, expand the curriculum, and provide more resources for students. The school was investing in state-of-the-art science labs, a new library filled with digital and print resources, and a series of extracurricular programs aimed at fostering creativity and critical thinking. The news spread quickly among the parents. Some saw this as a positive development. Mrs. Abdul Rauf, a mother of two, was thrilled. "This is exactly what our children need," she told her husband that evening. "The world is changing, and so should our schools. With these improvements, our kids will have a better chance to succeed. I'm happy to pay a little more if it means they'll get the best education possible." Mr. Abdul Rauf nodded in agreement. "It's an investment in their future. They'll be better prepared for college, and these new programs might help them discover what they're truly passionate about." Meanwhile, at another kitchen table across town, the Lawal family was having a very different conversation. "I just don't see how we can afford this," Mr. Lawal said, shaking his head as he read the letter. "We're already stretching our budget to keep Taufik and Ibrahim in school. How are we supposed to manage this?" Mrs. Lawal sighed. "I understand why they're doing it, but it feels like they're leaving families like ours behind. Not everyone can afford these constant increases. What happens if we can't keep up? We need to meet up. Our children will not move to another school because it has many implications." At the next PTA meeting, the divide among the parents was clear. Some, like Mrs. Abdul Rauf, spoke passionately about the benefits the improvements would bring. "This is what our children deserve," she argued. "We can't hold back progress because of money. We have to find a way." Others, like Mrs. Lawal, were more cautious. "We need to ensure that no child is left behind because of these changes," he said. "Yes, the improvements are great, but we need to think about everyone in our community. How can we support each other during this transition?" The room buzzed with debates, with some parents expressing excitement and others voicing concerns. Mrs. Yusuf listened carefully, understanding that while the school's intentions were good, they needed to consider the impact on the entire community. In the weeks that followed, Daarul Hikimoh Group of School promised to implement a financial aid program to assist families who needed help covering the increased tuition. They'll also be hosted workshops to help parents understand the new programs and how they would benefit their children. For the Abdul Raufs, the improvements were a welcome change, a step forward in their children's education. The story of Daarul Hikimoh Group of School was a reminder that in the pursuit of progress, it's essential to bring everyone along on